Hi guys, this is CK at CK Education again, and today I want to talk about how to pay off debt quickly. And this is, well, everything I talk about, it's based on experience and it's based on things that I found work in life. And the people and the books that I share, the authors that I share, the people that I name, who have helped me, who have influenced my thinking and influenced my philosophy on how to do certain things. These people aren't just spouting mere theory. I'm not into mere theory at all. I am really into practicality. I'm really into things that work, and if they don't work, I throw it out the window. But if they work, then I hold on to it and I try to refine it. I make it better. I try to customize it, and I hope you'll do the same. Now, what I'm about to share with you is not it's not any secret. It's not like well, I've never heard of that before, anything like that. But I found that even though we hear things in life and even though we've heard them before, it's nothing if we don't do it. I mean, it's absolutely nothing if we don't put it into action. And so I urge you to do that. If you've been thinking about it, you've been reading about it, you've been hearing about it, and you're like, yeah, I want to do it someday, but you just haven't done anything in regard to the goals that you're trying to reach. It's bottom line is you gotta put it into action every single day, every single month. You have to do things to reach your goals. And so, but today I just want to talk about how to pay off debt quickly. Now, I told you in previous videos that I think there are four major debt sources in our American society, and number one is mortgage. Yes, mortgage is a debt. A lot of people think, oh, mortgage isn't a debt. I mean, it's an investment. I don't want to go into that right now. I already talked about debt and what a real investment is and so on and so forth in my previous videos. So please watch those. But yes, mortgage is a debt. Student loans, debt, that's a debt, big debt to a lot of people. Car loans, that's a debt. And credit card debt. So those four things are the primary debt sources in our society. And so let's say you have all four of those. How do I pay it off? And so here, what I did was I started with the smallest thing. So let's just start with either your car or your credit card. Now, let's say in your credit card, if you have four credit cards, you have balances on all of them. I just picked the smallest balance. Let's say on one of them I have 10,000, one of them I have 5,000, one of them I have 2,000, one of them I have 1,000. So I'm going to pay off the $1,000 credit card first. And so I figure out all the other ones, maybe you're paying minimum. And on this $1,000 smallest balance credit card, let's say you're paying whatever you're paying every month, can you pay extra? And if you can pay extra, you got to pay extra and you got to put as much as you can into that one to pay it off as quickly as you can. And you got to sort of project it out and build a little scenario so you know about when you're going to be done. And I found that if you do that, if you visualize it, I've used Excel spreadsheets and so just January, February, March, April, May, June, and like if I pay it off, it's going to get smaller by a certain amount every month, and so at which month it'll be gone. You just want to make something visual like that. So you pay off the first one and you make a plan. After you pay off the first one, whatever money that you used to put into that. So let's say you used to pay $300 a month, and the minimum was like $50. So you paid $300 and you paid it off in, let's say, like 5 months or whatever. So that $300 that you used to put into that $1,000 balance, after you pay that off, you take the next biggest balance credit card. And let's say that's a $2,000 one with a minimum, payment of $100 a month. So you're now going to pay $100 plus the $300 that you used to pay on the other one that you now paid off. You're going to put that money towards that next biggest one. And you do that, and let's say you pay that off, and again, visualize it, project it, and you pay that off in like 5 months. Whatever monies you've been putting into that, let's say it was $400 a month, now you're gonna put that money into the next biggest credit card debt, balance, and let's say that's a $5,000 one. So now you're gonna pay that off, and it takes you, like, I don't know, 10 months to do that. And whatever money you've been doing that, you put that into the next biggest one, and on. So now your credit cards are all paid off. Now you're going to go tackle your car loans. So let's say you have two car loans and one of them is, $15,000. So whatever monies that you are putting into your credit cards, you don't go, spend that or buy something else. You put all that money now into paying off your smallest car loan. Let's say you have a $15,000 car loan and a $25,000 car loan. You go to your $15,000 one and you start paying that off. Let's say the minimum was, $250 a month. you're putting like $700, $800, whatever you've been doing with these credit cards, you take that same money and you put it towards that car loan, and you pay 800 or whatever it is. Every month you do that. Again, you project it out, put it in a spreadsheet, see about when you're going to pay it off. Once you get that paid off, and whatever money, the $800, $900 that you've been putting in, now you're going to put that into the next car loan. And the next car loan, let's say it had a $350 payment every month. You're putting in like $1,000 every month, okay? And you get that paid off real quick. Now, student loans. So student loans, let's say you have $50,000 in student loans. You're like, oh, student loans so big. I can't believe I went to college and spent all this money and went into debt, and now I got to pay all this off. So whatever money that you were putting into your credit card and then your car loans, you're going to take that money, let's say it's $1,500 a month, and you're not going to spend it. You're not going to go buy something that you're going to put that into your student loan. So every single month, you're going to pay extra on your student loan. And let's say your student loan, your minimum was like $600 a month. Okay, you're putting like, $1,500 a month or more into that every single month. Now, I know you'll be tempted as you do this. Oh man, this is going to take forever. As you're doing this, man, if I use this money, I could go buy a really nice car. I could go even buy a bigger house. You're not doing that. You're never going to pay off debt if you do that. So you got to keep putting it in. Let's say it's $1,500 every month into that student loan. And let's say it takes you 3 years to do it and you pay it off. And you're like, whoa, I have no credit card debt. I have no car loans. I have no student loans. Now for the big one, I got my mortgage. So mortgage, let's say you have a 30-year fixed mortgage, and so you have, who knows, let's say you have $300,000 left on that. Now, I think it was it yesterday? In yesterday's video, I provided a link in the description of a early mortgage payoff calculator that's free, that's online, that I provided a link. I would go to that link and I would put in how much money you have left, your balance on your mortgage, what your interest rate is, and what your minimum monthly payment is, and how much extra you're going to pay on that. And then it'll give you an amortization schedule, and it'll tell you how early you can expect to pay it off if you pay whatever amount extra per month on your mortgage. And so I've used that for years, and it's great because it's very accurate, and it'll tell you like about when you should expect to pay off your mortgage. And so let's say you all that money that you used to pay on your credit card, and then your car loan, and then your student loan, now you're putting all of that into your mortgage. So let's say your mortgage, your minimum monthly payment is $1,500 a month, but you're putting in $3,000 a month, okay? And so every month you do this, and on the calculator, when you put that number in, it'll say, oh, if you do that, you'll be able to pay this off in, I'm making it up, but let's say 8 years, okay? So now you're excited. You're like, man, I could pay off the rest of my mortgage. I've been paying on it for like, 12 years or 13 years, but just 8 more years and I can pay this whole thing off. Now, I always want you to think, this is what keeps me motivated. It keeps people motivated. Hopefully it keeps you motivated. You always got to think about the future state. The future state is, you imagine a time when you have 0 loans. Your credit card debt, you don't have any. Car loans, 0. Student loans, paid off. Your mortgage, nothing. And in that moment, when you have all those 4 debts paid off, you have nothing going out to those 4 debt sources. You have nothing now. How much money do you have now? Just calculate it based on your current income. Whatever you're bringing home right now, and you subtract it, that doesn't go out. It doesn't go out at all. So in your Excel spreadsheet, put that in. How much money do you have? And what are, you got electric bills, you got cell phone bills, you got, things that go out, HOA fees and things like that, property taxes, but you don't have mortgage, you don't have student loan, you don't have car loans, you don't have credit card. See how much money you get to keep every month. You'll be amazed. You'll be like, whoa, my income doesn't even have to go up and I get to keep all this money every month. Yes, you do. Always keep that in mind, keep that future state in mind, and let that keep you motivated to continue paying off your debts, okay? And so let's say you do that and your mortgage is now free and clear. You have no mortgage. Can you imagine that? Now, I know that right now, if you're starting, this could take years. It will take years. It'll take 10 years. It might take 15 years. But those 10 or 15 years will go by regardless. whether you pay your debts off or not, 10 years later, 15 years later, that day will come. And that's why you have to think about the future state. Look, 10 years later, where do I want to be? 15 years later, where do I want to be? And if you still want to be heavily in debt, and you think about, well, by that time I'll be this many years old. By that time, my kids will be this age. Do I still want to be in this situation at that time? And if your answer is no, scares the crap out of me to do that. I want to be debt free. I want to be more financially secure. I want to be more financially just free. Then you got to start doing the things right now. You got to start making the sacrifices right now. Paying off debt is not glorious. It is not fun. It is not enjoyable necessarily, except the joy of knowing that you're going to get to a better state. But let me tell you, when you get to that state, when you get to, I have no debts, my house is paid off, everything's paid off, that kind of feeling is all worth it, going through all that. Other people, you're going to look around you, your friends are going to buy a new car, your friends are going to move into a bigger house. You just focus on paying off your debt. And if you do that, you'll be much better financially. Now, if you want to later on, after you pay everything off and you're in a really good spot, maybe you go buy a second house. Look, but the thing is, those kind of things come later. Okay? Now, the root cause is people go into too much debt in the first place. And I'm not going to cover that in this video. In tomorrow's video, I hope to cover that. How to minimize your debt in the first place. If you're already in debt, today's video is for you. If you're already in debt and you're tired of it, you're sick of it, and you want to get out of debt, that's how I did it. That's how you should do it. That's how I recommend that. It's a way to do it. But how to just minimize going to debt in the first place, I'll cover that in another video. Now, one other thing I want to cover today, and that is some of you, your income isn't very good, your income isn't very high, or you've lost your source of income. You're falling behind. You are already behind. You haven't made a credit card payment in a couple of months. Your mortgage, you're barely paying. Your car loans, you can't afford to. You're getting behind and behind. You're getting desperate. Let me tell you, my friend, there's no shame in looking into bankruptcy, personal bankruptcy. And people think that they hear this word and they're like, oh, this is going to be end of me. I can't do anything after that. No, it's not like that. Not in America, okay? In a lot of countries, if you declare bankruptcy, you're screwed financially for the rest of your life. You're done. You can't borrow money anymore. You can have debt collectors after you your entire life. That's not like that in America. Look into it. Don't just assume things because you hear it, okay? So personal bankruptcy is an option. Go talk to an attorney about it. It'll cost maybe around $2,000 or so to have them do that for you, but that would get rid of all of your debts. You would be forgiven of all your debts. Now, what's the consequence of that? The consequence is you're going to take a big hit on your credit score. Your credit score is going to tank, but you could just build that back up, okay? And having a credit score that's really low doesn't mean you can't get a loan. You can still get a loan. You can still buy a car and things like that. And you can start building it up, getting little credit cards and spending a little bit, paying it off just to get your credit. And if you keep paying your mortgage, your credit card, and that'll stay on your record for 7 years or so. But if you're falling behind and you're drowning in debt, that might be an option, okay? But again, talk to a good real estate attorney and see what your options are there. Now, one thing about that, though, right now, as the law is, student loans cannot be forgiven with even if you declare bankruptcy. So if you declare bankruptcy, you'll get your credit cards, your car loans, and things like that, forgiven or reduced, or you can work something out, and certainly your credit card that you don't have to pay anymore, and so forth. But and you can work something out with your mortgage company, perhaps. What I would do though is if you do that, it's probably because you have too much credit card debt. And if you have too much credit card debt, I would just get all that forgiven, okay, and then your mortgage, I would keep paying that because you need a house, okay, and you need your cars. And so, but again, I can't go into all the nitty gritty details because everybody has their own unique situation. You need to talk to a real estate attorney and talk about all the details and how to get that resolved. So if you're in that kind of situation, I'm sorry that you are, but that might be an option. And then that'll give you some financial breathing room after that's over, and then you can start paying off the other debts, like your mortgage and so forth, like I talked about. So hopefully that's helpful. But if you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section. But I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.